In this segment, I'm going to take a look at the Slow Redraw tool, and that's found here on the left-hand toolbar. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and turn that Slow Redraw tool on. And what you'll find is that a small Slow Redraw window opens up, and what I'm going to do is just simply scroll in closer to my design, and you'll notice right away that the stitches for the design have all disappeared. So if I close that Slow Redraw, see, there's all the stitching. As soon as I turn Slow Redraw on, the stitching basically becomes hidden, and what's happened is my design has moved to the very first or very beginning of the design prior to sewing, and it's waiting to start. Now, this little Slow Redraw window has several little options, and I guess the first thing is the speed. So it's set right now very fast, 7,300 RPM. I can drag this to be slower, 600 RPM, and then drag it to the right to get faster. So you get to control the speed of the Slow Redraw. Now if I just push start right now, you'll see that what shows like an embroidery needle comes on my screen, and it starts to stitch the design. And so we can basically watch the design sew on our screen. Now I'm just going to stop it for a minute and show, okay, so there's the needles currently sitting there, so part of the design's sewn. If I change this to move frame and then push start, you'll see that instead of the needle moving back and forth, it's the embroidery frame, so the needle stays stationary and it's the machine, or in this case my screen, that moves back and forth. Okay, I'll push stop, change it back to move head. So now you can see what happens is our screen stays stationary and it's the needle that's moving back and forth. So just two different ways of viewing that. Now the other thing I can do, I'm going to stop it. Well, first of all, I can show you, I can change the speed. So there it is at 1600. If I want to, I can just drag it up here and get it to sew much more quickly. And if you wanted to slow it down to see a spot, slowly, you can slow it right down and watch it sew very slowly. Now I'll go ahead and stop it. I also have these little arrows here, and so for example I've got move to the beginning of the design or move to the end of the design, so I'll jump to the beginning of the design or jump to the end of the design. So that's quickly traveling through the design. Jump to the beginning of the design. The first first little play button is literally move one stitch at a time, and so it goes very slowly. The next option beyond that is to move one object at a time. So if I click on that, it'll travel to the end of the first embroidery object, and click again, travels to the end of the next embroidery object, and if I click again, travels to the next object, to the next one. So it travels sort of one object at a time through the design. So that's Slow Redraw, and you can use Slow Redraw to learn more about how your design is going to sew, what the sewing sequence is. You'll be able to see, I guess, the type of underlay stitches that may be getting placed. If you watch it sew, you'll be able to learn a lot more about how it is, and that way you can, I guess, proof your design, make sure that you're happy with it before you take it to the machine and spend the time to stitch it out on your embroidery machine. So yeah, that's the Slow Redraw tool, and again, I can close this and it goes away, and it's found here on the left hand toolbar to turn the tool back on again.